Okay, good. So we will work with this code now in today's session. Okay, where I will try to write the code which will contain few more instructions which we might not have seen earlier. Fine. So these instruction will be used by you for some specific purposes. So let us write first section dot text. So global main main. So one can use extern printf. Let us say move ex comma 10, move ebx comma 20. Okay, and we will use xchg. Fine. Now I will write ecx edx. Fine. I will first write this. What you can understand from this xchg? From the word xchg, xchg would be exchange.
Exchange.
Yeah. So nasm as app.elf 2109.asm g dash f dwarf, then gcc dash m32 dash g dash f dwarf 2109.o. Now let us try to debug because we are not using any printf statement. So I will go with debugger. So our code contains this. Okay, fine. Move ex comma 10, move ebx comma 20, move cs comma 10, move edx comma 20, and then we have these instructions. So let us set breakpoint. Let us display the values ex, ebx, ecx, edx. So let us start with this. Now we have ex value 10, ebx value 20, move cs comma 10, edx comma 20. Now we are executing first instruction. Now carefully see what happened. What happened? What is the change in value of ex and ebx? Can you see the values got exchanged? Yes. So if I go with another exchange, I can see value of ECX and EDX also got exchanged. So recall the code that you write for bubble sort or kind of sorting. You use exchange, correct? You change the values from the respective index positions. So you can make use of this instruction directly there. Note that none of the instruction in 32-bit instruction set works with both the operands to be memory. You can have one operand to be in memory and one operand to be in register. In this case, we took both of them to be in register form. You cannot have both of them to be in memory form. M32 you will never be permitted to use. You have to always use what? Either two registers or a register and memory location. Either of the place like source destination, it may change. Fine. Any question with this exchange? Yes, please. You can type in comment window as well if you really have a question. If no, one of you can write no so that I can proceed further with respect to other instructions. Okay, good. So Ankita posted it on the behalf of class. So this is what this exchange instruction works. So now let us try to see few more instructions. Now what I have to do is I have to make use of comparison. So let me write sub ecx comma edx and let me write cmp ex comma ebx. Now what happens here is ecx is equal to, sorry, this is problem with this. So ECX is equal to ECX minus EDX. Okay, and same thing happens with comparison as well. Okay, only the thing is result is not saved with this value. So result would not be saved here with EX. What happens is with some temporary location, EX minus EBX happens because of this instruction, because of these two parameters. But the result is not stored here. So let us see how what exactly I'm trying to tell here. Okay, I'm using the same after exchange only. We have these instructions now with us. Fine. Let us save them. Let us go back. Let us try to now assemble, link, and execute. So breakpoint main display $EX, EBX, ECX, EDX, and EFLAGs. Fine. Let us write run. Now we have move instructions. All 4 instructions would be there. Move. So there is no change with respect to the flag. So you can note it down. Move instructions or data transfer instruction doesn't make change in the flag. Now which are the data change instruction? Let us see this one. Now see, after this all moves, flag register status was this parity flag, 0 flag, and interrupt flags are on. Same flags are here. Correct. Now we are executing exchange instruction. So is there any change? Values got changed. Correct. With EX and EBX, values got changed, but there is no change with the flag. So this also goes into data transfer set, data transfer instruction set. Is that okay? Okay. So if I go with sub now we are working with an arithmetic instruction which is subtract. Now try to see what is value of ECX 20 and what is value of EDX 10. So as per our understanding, this should happen. Fine. Let us try to see what happens there. What happened? Compare subtract instruction got executed. 0 flag was reset. Earlier it was 1. Now it is 0. That means result is not 0. When your result is 0 from the previous thing, it sets it to 1. Now in this case, as result was not 0, it was removed. Correct. So now if I go further, you will see same thing. But now you may not be able to see like what exactly happened here. ECX was 20. Okay. EDX was 10. Now when we fired this CMP EX, EBX, we got, because ECX EDX was there, 20 minus 10 was 10, correct, for ECX EDX. But when we executed EX, EBX, okay, 20 and 10 were kept as it is, but somewhere this result got computed. So now it may confuse you like why this flag set remained same. So what I will do is I will put comment with this subtract instruction so that you will understand what exactly happened there. I will put comment here with sub so as to see. Sorry. Let us save this. So we saw PF, AF, IF. So we should see the same kind of flags. So AF is auxiliary carry. Okay, you must have heard na, carry flag and auxiliary carry. Okay, in binary operations you do make use of them, like auxiliary carry and carry. So there are 2 kinds of flags, auxiliary carry and carry. Try to find out meaning of each of them through your through your what you can call it as computer organization book. So breakpoint main display $EX, and we'll take only EBX because we are working with EX and EBX, and display $EFLAGs. Now run. Now you see EX, EBX. Now see the forms of what are the, what you can call it as flags, PF, ZF, IF. Correct. Now if I fire this CMP, it became auxiliary carry flag was set. So why it is so? 20 minus 10 EX, EBX. So it is compared. So after you subtract this, what really happened there? Why this auxiliary carry came in between? Because 20 was bigger than 10, correct? So that's why auxiliary carry somehow, like if I write them in binary form, for example, display $EAX slash T, okay, and display $EBX slash T. Now see the values. So if I write 0 0 1 0 1 and 0 1 0 1, so if I write 0 1 0 1, if I try to subtract this 1 0 1 0 0 like from this value, this one, then 0 minus 1 would be there at this position, correct, from binary point of view. That's why this auxiliary carry was set. Now let me change those values first, okay, and then we will try to see what happens there. We got AF. Now we'll make the change with now EX EBX. So we will not exchange these values of EX EBX, okay, and then let us try to see which flag shown there. Shown there. So we have parity, auxiliary carry, and interrupt. Now let us try to assemble, link, debug. So display $EX EBX slash T, sorry, slash T. So breakpoint main, run. So we got 10 first, 8 plus 2, correct? This is 1 2 4 8. So 8 plus 2 is 10. So NI. So this is 4 plus 16. Okay. 1 2 4 8 16. 16 plus 4 20. Now when we compare this, let us see the things. We'll display now E flags. Same thing, parity, zero flag, and interrupt flag. Now try to see after this CMP which flag gets set. So if I subtract this EX from this, now reverse 10 10 in binary form, 1 0 1 0 minus 1 0 1 0 0. So subtraction would be with borrow, correct? Fine. So now try to see which flag got set there, because the EX value was smaller than this EBX value, correct? That's why sign flag also got set, as well as there was a borrow. That's why carry flag also got set. Fine. So this is related to your binary operation. That's why one can see the change happening over there. Correct. Any question with this? That means what? Subtraction is done there with respect to this. Somewhere this result is stored and this value is making the change over here to in the flag register rather. Because of it only the result is shown. Now if for example, let us do this. Now suppose I am talking about binary, bubble sort only. Now what if my both values are same? Now result would be, after subtraction, result would be what? 0. Because if I subtract both, 10 minus 10 would be what? 0. So if I go with this again, NASM GCC, now debug, display, we will take slash T only, $EX EBX, display $E flags, breakpoint main, run. Now see this 10 10, both the values are 10 10, correct? Now if I subtract both, like EX from EBX, what will happen? What will happen? Result would be anyone please? Is only Isha attending the class or others are also there? Sudeshna, yes, 0 0. Good. So let us try to see now. If I write this NI, ECX EDX exchange, now we are having CMP. Now this will remain as it is. Why this is so? Because after subtraction this result became 0. That's why this ZF was there. So let us again make a change to see rather, like, are we getting really 0 flag set? So we'll add here, we'll write add instead of exchange. so as to affect the flags before comparison, so that we can see whether the result already actually got affected there or not. So we will debug this code now. Okay, now let us try to add breakpoint, then display all registers, dollar display slash t dollar ex, display slash t dollar evx. We will not take ecx over there, and we'll execute this code now. Let us try to see the values. So ex is 10. Okay, ebx is 10, ecx is 10, edx is 20. Now we are adding ecx edx. So let us try to see what are the flags. So this is flag now. Okay, if I execute this, add should affect now this flag register. So one can see 0 flag is removed because the result is not 0. So after I fire compare, what will happen? Flags would be set because result would be 0. That's why this ZF again is shown there. Have you understood now how this CMP is used internally? CMP actually subtracts, but it doesn't store the result of subtraction in the register. So there is a temporary location or temporary register internally it makes use of to hold this comparison. Fine. So recall, in programming language you write like this: a greater than b, for example. So you say if a greater than b, then you write code. If a is greater than b, then what should happen? So ultimately this works with subtraction only. These comparison operators do work with subtraction. So in today's session we will try to write a program which computes factorial. Fine. Any question till this time? If you have, you can ask me. You can unmute yourself and you can ask me the question. No questions? Okay, good. So students are really intelligent in this batch. No one is asking question. Or rather, I may be bad teacher who cannot reach to the goal. Yeah, Kharat. For exchange operation, is there any third register? No, we don't know that. Internally, this instruction is operated. So it makes use of definitely a temporary mechanism, or like when you are asked without using a temporary variable, can you write a program to exchange the values? What you do? You use some subtract kind of operation and you do apply the mechanism, correct? Without using a third party variable, temporary variable. So that one of the technique would be used by Intel internally to implement this exchange instruction. So I hope, Kharat, I resolved your query. We will not be able to see what is the third register used. We don't know. So that would be some temporary register, or maybe it is happening in memory. So we don't know about it. And we cannot until and unless we join Intel or we do design our own. How will you implement? Suppose you are asked to implement exchange instruction. How will you implement it? You definitely either would be using the third party variable or third variable, or you will be using what? You would be using some operations over there, correct? So that is your choice, like how exactly that. So internally that code is written for exchange instruction. Okay. Without using a variable, how can you achieve the goal? That's what it would be. How many of you know that can you implement multiplication using AND or OR? Can we use AND or OR to get multiplication? So if yes, try to find out how exactly that can be done. Okay, so let us try to build now a code which will compute factorial. So what we will do is we'll take variable with ECX. Okay. Okay, by the way, most of the times whenever you want some counter to be used, always try to take it with ECX. I will be introducing you few more instructions in today's class. So we want to compute factorial of 5. So how will you write the code? Let us say, how will you write the code? If ECX is greater than 0, then you write fact is equal to fact multiplied by ECX, correct? Then you write subtract or ECX minus minus with assumption that this is the code that you are writing. Then you are writing ECX minus minus and then you are again repeat above steps. So this would be your code, correct? So how can we achieve this goal? If we are going with this, so ECX should be subtracted and result should be stored. So what I will do is I will make use of, for example, EAX. Okay, generally, if you recall, what is the initial value that you give to fact while calculating factorial? What would be the initial value of fact? Fact would be 1, correct? Fact is equal to 1, and then you start working with it, correct? So that's how you generally go. So if I have my value or variable which I am taking, for example, is register I am taking, I am saying EAX is 1. Fine. Now we have to multiply with ECX. Decrement ECX. So we are decrementing value by 1. You can write subtract ECX comma 1. That also will work. But better it would be like if you write decrement ECX would be quite fine. Now we have to compare CMP ECX comma 0. So if it is 0, then we have to write condition, correct? Here what we said was repeat above steps. If it is kind of repeat until it is greater than 0. If it is 0, then it should come out. So that's what we are saying. So compare ECX comma 0. I am writing jump not 0, which is the jump instruction. Jump not 0 to some label. Now I am giving label LP, so it should go here. We'll try to find how exactly code works. So LP would be kind of label that you give. Okay, you are writing mul ECX, decrement ECX, compare ECX, JNZ ECX. So here you can make use of always. My suggestion would be try to always use this because you are multiplying. Okay, and EDX should be always made 0 so as to get appropriate result. For every loop, it should become 0. So let us assume that this code is done. So let us try to see what the code is. We'll try to find whether it contains some errors. So this is the code that you have. See the code. EX contains 1, ECX contains 5, and then we are going to work with. So we are multiplying with. Fine. So let us try to assemble the code. We'll write 2. Let us link the code. This is 2 and GDB. So let us display 2 registers EAX, EDX and ECX because we do have them. So we can see flags if at all we want them to be flags to be verified. Okay, let us write breakpoint main and say run. Fine. Now see the values. EX is becoming 5, EX is becoming 1, EDX is 0. Multiply with ECX. So what happens? EX equal to EX multiplied by ECX. What is EX? 1. What is ECX? 5. So what will happen? EX will become 5. Now decrement ECX. Now see the result. Like after multiplication, as it was arithmetic instruction, these flags got changed. Correct? Fine. Okay. So decrement ECX. So next. Now as it is not 0, so this 0 was removed. Okay, now it is comparing with 0. It is checking whether is 0 flag set. Now when we are comparing this with ECX, so parity flag also got reset. Compare also will make the change in the flag because we already saw that. Fine. Okay, next instruction. Now ECX 4. Now try to see JNZ LP. Now see the code. Code is at line number 13. Now see where it goes. Code came back to 9. Okay, where we wrote that label. So recall in C language you must have been taught something called as what you call a go-to statement. Okay, this is conditional go-to or conditional. So we call this as conditional jump, JNZ. Okay, so JNZ would be conditional jump. So let us continue this. EDX is again 0, made 0. Multiply ECX. What is ECX? ECX is 4. What is EX? EX is 5. So result should be EX should contain now 20. Correct. Increment, decrement ECX. ECX becomes 3. Compare ECX with 0. Is it 0? No. So jump Z LP. Going to line number 9. Again XOR EDX EDX. 20 multiplied by 3. So this would be 60. Decrement ECX. ECX comma 0. Jump not 0 LP. XOR again EDX EDX, because see the contents of ECX, it is not yet 0. So 60 multiplied by 2, 120. Decrement ECX 1. Again compare jump not 0 to LP. XOR 120 multiplied by 1. What would be the result? Result would be 120 only. So flag, but flag definitely would be manipulated. Decrement ECX, ECX becomes 0. Now you may see 0 flag got set, because ECX was 0 and 0 minus 0 is 0. Correct. So that's why this 0 flag got set. Now if you go further, this should come out of this. It should not go to line number 9 now. Now see what it shows. It came out of it. So that's why it says coming out of it. And we got now 120, because earlier it was line number, correct? If you recall, if you see above, for example, it was line number 9. After 13, we got line number 9, correct? But here when we are done with this, because LP jump not 0, 0 flag was set. So there are two instructions, jump if 0 or jump if not 0. So you write JZ or JNZ. For such cases like this code we wrote, this computes factorial. So this code requires jump not 0, which we are using. Correct? Is that okay? Any question with this? Now how will you print this? Now we are with debugger, so it will continue with debugger. So if I want to print the value, then I will use this pattern. I will go to my code. I will remove this for because we understood now what is to be done. Now where is the result? In which register the result is? Can you tell me please? You can unmute and tell me. Yes, result is with which register? Factorial is %d 10,0. So we will use this here. Result is with EAX, so we will write push EAX, push MSG, call printf, add ESP comma 8. Okay, we already saw this. For every push, 4 bytes would be there. So if you push 2 values, then you have to write add ESP comma 8. If you don't write, you get segmentation fault. Fine. So if I run now this code, assemble, link, now you directly execute this, you will see the result. So what if I want to take another value? So let us try changing it. So let us take 6. It would be 720. NASM GCC debug. Correct. If you change it to 4, it would be 60. So let us make the change. NASM GCC execute. Correct. 24 multiplied by 5, so which becomes 120. Correct. Any question till this? Code is written like this. You can see this code. Any question with this? Let me see. Seems there. So why are we using EDX? Sudeshna, you haven't paid attention, because I said that always EDX and EAX in combination used with multiply and division instruction. Okay. Now this time it might not give you any error, because EDX is becoming 0 every time. Okay. Even after multiplication, it is not going beyond 64-bit. But sometimes what happens is, like if you keep some value over there, it may give you segmentation fault. So my suggestion would be better, whenever you are using multiplication or division instruction, try to use this XOR instruction. It will not make any change in your execution, but it definitely can help you out at few places. Is that okay now? Sudeshna? Okay, good. Any question with this till the time? Okay, so we got result with EAX, correct? In this case. So if I go to here in this code, and if I try to see, okay, let me move EBX comma EX, because we haven't used EBX till date. Nah? So let us say I want to put result, because result is with EAX, and I want to store this result with the register EBX for some purpose. Let us try to see what happens. Okay, so let us assemble. What I added only one line there towards the bottom, which says move EBX comma EX. So let us try to debug the code. This is the code that we added. After this add ESP comma, we added this. So display $EX. We will take EBX. Okay. Now we will set a breakpoint after this, like add this add instruction directly, because we know that factorial of 4 is 24. Correct. So it computes it there. Na? So it should display that value directly to us. Now when I say run, okay. Now what happened? What EX is showing? What EX is showing? 17. Why? Actual result should be 24 because it showed here. Why this is so? Any input for it? Can you tell me why it is showing us 17 instead of 24? Now we need to definitely find out what is the reason. So for that purpose, what I will do is I will quit from it. Okay, I will debug it one more time, and now I will use these all registers: EBX, ECX, EDX, ESI, and EDI. Now let me write breakpoint main. Now let me write R run. Okay, and see which values are getting manipulated. So we are executing the code of factorial 24. So it got 0 now. It is coming out of it. It is over here now. It is printing the result. So with EX now we have 24, correct? So let me write this push MSG. Now this call printf is going to make the change. Now see EX value got changed, correct? EDX, which values got reflected there? EX and EDX got changed, correct? See EX and EDX, I got few values. The values of ESI, EDI remained same. These also remained same, correct? Then EX and EDX got changed. So are these the only values those got reflected? So if I see now NI, EX and EBX would be containing 17, but actually I wanted what? I wanted 24, whatever the result that was there. Okay, so let me add one more thing over here. Okay, for your understanding. So we made it 0, so I will add it here, increment ECX. So in ECX will become 1. Okay, so NASM, I will show you what the change I made. GCC less 21092.asm. See the change, I added only this because we know that ECX becomes 0, correct? So that's why I'm incrementing it by 1. So let us try to see why I did this. So we'll directly jump to this code. So where we have added this increment ECX, correct? So line number is 15. So breakpoint 15, display $EX, EBX, ECX, EDX. Let us start run. So increment ECX. What happened? Sorry, we want to use NI. ECX became 1, correct? Now see the values of EX, EBX, ECX, EDX. So we will display ESI, EDI as well, so that you can see that. Okay. Now I will say NI. push EX happened, push MHG happened. Do you see any change there with EX to EDI? No change. Whatever the value that was there, same is here. Before push MHG, this was the scenario. After push MHG, this was the scenario. Now when it executes call, now carefully see what the change happened. Okay, is there any change right now? No. Let us execute it. We got first change with EX. We got EDX. We got ECX also changed. What was not changed? What was not changed? EBX, ESI and EDI never got changed. What got changed? What got changed? EAX, ECX and EDX got changed. Now why this is so? It is because of your call. Whenever you are executing a call function, note down somewhere, you can record it. Whenever we are using a call function, every call will change the registers EX, ECX and EDX after execution of call instruction. These values will get manipulated. These values will remain as it is, EBX, ESI, EDI. Okay, so this is a really important scenario that you have to see. I will post it into comment window. Sorry. Control Y. Okay, it is not showing this. Okay, I will write it here. EX, ECX and EDX will change after function call. Okay, and what will not get changed? EBX, ESI, EDI will not be affected by the function call. By the function call. Fine, understood this? Okay, so now your target for today, you have 15 minutes. Those who are having laptops, okay, try to write the code which computes sum from 1 to n. N would be given by you as an input, the way that we gave here 5. In this case, we gave this 4. So if I give 4, I want sum from 1 to 4. Okay, try writing the code and submit it to me. Okay, I will add or you can send it to WhatsApp whenever you are done. Fine, the code file. How will you write the code? Can somebody explain? You can unmute and start talking. What is to be done? You have to write a code, write a program. You have 30 minutes to work with it. So when you are done, you post it. Make sure that if I ask randomly to you, like you can send me on my, I will create Moodle on Moodle course, one assignment for you, classwork assignment, which is to be submitted before 7:15. It is now 18:46. Okay, 6:46. So you have to submit it before 7:15 to me on Moodle course. Write a program which computes sum from 1 to n, where n will be given to ECX. This is the problem statement. Okay, try working with this and you have to submit this as an assignment. I will add it on browser. Okay, code, start working. So those who are having laptops can start directly coding and you have to submit the code. If you don't have laptop, you write it on a paper and try to submit your assignment on Moodle. Is that okay? Any questions? I will pass on this code as well to you for your reference. WhatsApp group I am adding this question, sorry, this answer of factorial code, so that you can refer this. Okay, where is WhatsApp? LLAP. This is the code you can make use of. Fine. I have added in our WhatsApp group. Okay. Use this as a reference perspective to write your code. Fine. And like no need to write this letter part here. So I assume you understood it. You have to write the code. I will add this into one assignment in Moodle so that you all can submit your solution there. Fine. Start working with it. And when you are done, submit it there. And if you have any question, you can post it to me. Not a problem. By the way, I recorded a few sessions, but due to the person who was recording it had corona, so recordings are with him. So I'm not able to get them because he's hospitalized. So I may have to record it one more time again, probably. I'm adding this factorial code as well as on Moodle. Isha, I am adding you in Moodle course as an co-teacher. Okay, so you can start evaluating the assignments when it is done. By the way, Isha would be working with me as an co-teacher for this course. If you have any doubts, you can contact her. And if she cannot resolve the query, you can reach to me directly. Isha, can you share your number on WhatsApp in the group so that the people from mathematics also can get idea about to whom to contact?
Yes, sir.
Max. I'm adding the code on factorial, but you can use till that time on WhatsApp what is the code that was added by me. I have added the code. You can refer the code. On Moodle. I'm adding assignment now, which is a classwork. You have to only add ASM file. Okay, I'm enabling this submission till 7:15 only. Fine. So those who can complete are expected to submit it there only. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Or you can contact even Isha. Isha, you add your number in WhatsApp. Okay, in after the screenshot I added there. Okay, you add it there only so that the peoples from mathematics also can know who Isha is or to whom to contact to. If at all query is there, okay, you should contact Isha. Otherwise, no need to. Or if you have any problem, you can ask her.